This afternoon on NFL Network, the Browns are in Chicago to take on the Bears, the champions last year of the NFC North. The big question in Cleveland, who will be QB1 when the season begins? Deshaun Watson will start today's game. Shedeur Sanders, he'll get some action with Sanders expected to start for the Browns preseason game next Saturday against the Bills. You know, we did one SportsCenter together yesterday, and all of a sudden, Courtney Cronin wants to leave town, back in Chicago for the game. I don't know what I did, but Courtney, I apologize. I guess we'll talk shop, we'll talk ball. What are the Browns hoping to see from Watson and Sanders as they battle to determine the Week 1 starter?
Gary, I made some calls to the Browns front office yesterday to figure out what this quarterback competition is like in training camp and what they're hoping to see today. And the word that one staffer used to describe what they've seen is parity. That this is a coaching staff, brand new coaching staff, mind you, that has no preconceived notions of either quarterback. They've really given both Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders a clean slate as they both try to figure out if they are capable of being the starter of this team. So from Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders today, it's the 2-minute drill that the front office is looking most closely at to try to figure out who handles those live reps when things are much faster. You have to make quicker decisions in a more efficient way. And that will go along as long as they are splitting first team reps. That's what Todd Monken said. As long as we've got both guys playing with the ones, it's a competition. Now for Deshaun Watson, we have not seen him on a football field in real live game action since he ruptured his Achilles in October 2024. He gets the start today. He talked about it this week, just what that opportunity means, and he was very honest. He said, my game has changed since that point of my career 2 years ago, so getting back to that, showing the flashes of that athleticism that he's shown in practice, taking that into the game will certainly go a long way for Deshaun Watson as he tries to become QB1 in Cleveland. We're
going to see him first in Watson. Sanders, he'll also get some reps. We will not be seeing Caleb Williams and many of the Bears starters in this game. Where has Caleb Williams made the most progression so far in training camp heading into his third year as a pro?
It is crazy how much a difference a year makes for someone like Caleb Williams. Last year during training camp, he said he was drowning. This year, it's all about failure, and failure is not a bad thing. Caleb Williams and his plate in training camp has been overloaded. That is by design from head coach Ben Johnson because the install this year is so much more complex that Johnson's using training camp to throw as much at Williams as he can to see how much he can handle, how much he can take to the practice field, then make the corrections in the meeting room and take it back to the practice next day to see where he needs to get better. And Williams uses this time in the preseason. Now, we might not see him in any preseason games. Ben Johnson said, I don't really need to see Caleb Williams in the preseason. It certainly won't be today. We'll see what it's like for the next 2 games. But he's using this time to try to make sure that that confidence, that knowledge, that command that we have seen look so sharp in training camp looks as sharp, if not better, come Week 1 when they open on the road at Carolina.
Browns, Bears today, 1 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Courtney Cronin in Chicago today, back in Bristol tomorrow. Thanks, Courtney. Look who's in Bristol right now. We got Coach Herm Edwards.
I'm back.
For the first time this season.
Yeah.
Coach, if you're back, that means football is back. We just heard Courtney break down what Cleveland anticipates to be the QB1 battle between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. What are you looking for over the course of the next 2 weeks to determine who should start in Cleveland?
Well, first of all, if you just look at talent alone, Deshaun Watson has tremendous talent.
Okay.
Can he get back to that? We've seen a lot of quarterbacks resurrect their careers, right? Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Can Watson all of a sudden find his way in this offense? And I think, as far as this thing goes, he's competing to be the starter. But really, he has more experience than Shedeur. We know he can do a lot of things. Can he get this offense going early in the preseason? He's got a couple shots and that's it.
Yeah.
But this shouldn't be close competition. He has more experience than Shedeur has. I mean, so that's what he's got to lean on, his experience.
And that contract that Jeremy Fowler was alluding to, he's got that albatross of a deal that Cleveland's like, all right, well, we're paying him to go perform. Let's go perform under a new, of course, head coaching regime down there in Cleveland.
But he should perform.
Sure.
I mean, he gets it. This is my last shot.
Yeah. Caleb Williams certainly performing. The Bears were 11-6 last season. They won the NFC North. They took the Rams to overtime in the divisional round of the playoffs. What are you expecting from Caleb Williams this season, his second season with Ben Johnson?
Well, if you're Ben Johnson, you're telling him don't do too much, right? Just play within the scheme of the offense.
Yeah.
Because we said it last year. I said when Ben Johnson came to his rescue.
Yeah, sure.
To Chicago.
Yeah, Detroit to Chicago.
I said, watch this guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be a different quarterback.
Okay.
Sure enough, different guy. And we know he can do a lot of things outside the pocket. But that's not the deal. You want him to play inside the pocket. They've added more to his plate, which is great because they want to know how much more can he do from the pocket. We know when he gets out of the pocket, he can make a lot of plays. But this guy, I tell you what, he lit it up last year.
Yeah.
The thing that's holding Chicago back right now, not the quarterback, it's their defense.
Sure.
Their defense was very bad last year. And all of a sudden, it forces the quarterback to score points. They got to fix the defense. If they fix the defense in this conference,
they're in trouble.
Boy, I tell you what.
Which probably is multiple reasons why Ben Johnson said he wants to have the highest scoring offense ever. Not just for vanity, but because of that defense plays poorly like they did last year. Hey, Coach, they're going to need the points.
The thing that bailed the defense out last year, they took the ball away.
Sure.
Led the league in takeaways.
Yeah. All right.
That doesn't always happen every year.
Coach Herm Williams. Herm Williams.
That's
Herm
right.
Edwards.
We're talking about
Caleb Williams.
That's right.
Coach is here. It's still my preseason as well. All right, let's get to some postseason implications. The NFL preseason action continues today from MetLife this afternoon. The Vikings taking on the Giants earlier in the week. Minnesota naming Kyler Murray as it started for Week 1 ahead of J.J. McCarthy, who they spent first-round draft capital just a couple of seasons ago on. For New York, it's year 1 under new head coach John Harbaugh. The Giants have combined 7-27 over the past 2 seasons. Great to spend a couple of minutes with Judy Batista at MetLife Stadium this morning now on SportsCenter. Judy, great to see you. What should we expect from the Vikings offense with Kyler under center?
Well, whatever we're going to see of the Vikings offense with Kyler under center, we're not going to see a whole lot of it today. Kyler Murray is going to start this game, but I'm told it's not going to be for long. Maybe a series, maybe 2. We'll just see how long they last. He was named the starting quarterback last week, and that certainly wasn't a surprise given how J.J. McCarthy had struggled last season as the starter. The difference was really Kyler's experience. He has almost 90 starts in the NFL compared to J.J.'s 10. And also the promise of what this offense could look like with Kyler Murray. They've been incorporating shotgun and pistol in practice. Let's listen to Kevin O'Connell on the decision.
You know, there's moments in time where there's comfort from Kyler in the scheme. He had some really high completion days where, he was able to show some really, really good understanding of just putting the ball in play, playing with great timing, rhythm. You guys have seen him be explosive when there's opportunities there, but you've also seen him check the ball down and put the ball in play and get us from a 1st and 10 to a 2nd and 3. And then, as you continue to look at the body of work through those 10 days, what jumped out is what could be.
All right, so we will see Kyler Murray again. It's going to be brief. Then he will give way to J.J. McCarthy. He is now the backup quarterback. He will play for a while. We could also see Max Brosmer and Carson Wentz. They are the other quarterbacks on this roster. They could play later in the game. But really today is all about Kyler Murray's debut for the Vikings.
Let's talk about the other sideline. Year 1 for Kyler with the Vikings. It's now year 2 for Jackson Dart with the Giants. What's his status for today's game?
Well, this is also John Harbaugh's very first game as the Giants head coach, and he played this really close to the vest. He would not tell